Okay, we've got another week here of the Mastermind call. Got Loretta today. So for those of you tuning in to watch, today we're going to be talking online challenges. Last week was retention, and we spoke about like text messaging and following people up. Was anything that from last week, Loretta, that you wanted to touch on or go over before we move into challenges?
No, I'm feeling pretty good about the content from last week, so all good.
Beautiful. All right, online challenges. So are you running any? Have you run any? Are you nothing?
No,
All right,
nothing
beautiful. So
online.
nice. So essentially, first things first, you've got your Facebook group,
Yes,
VIP, like for your members. Yeah,
yes, that's correct.
easy. So, and you're week 5 at the moment, or something, 5 or 6.
Yep,
Okay,
yeah.
and you haven't done anything like that. Any challenges yet for them online?
No, because I find interaction on there is a little bit hit and miss at times, and
Yep.
it's probably just down to me really pushing the online interaction a little harder.
Yeah.
When they're on there, they're quite chatty and they're all,
Yep.
joke around with each other, but we haven't really linked it to any
Okay.
physical challenges or anything directly related.
Easy. And what's your group size online there? Because that's the other
Pretty
thing. Like,
small.
yeah, is it like 7 or 8 or something like that at the
Yeah,
moment?
it's about that. Yeah.
So that's the other thing that you'll find. It does get a bit tough with like the smaller group for some of that stuff, but it also works the other way as well because maybe people are more involved as well sometimes.
Yeah.
So don't. The easiest thing is when you do an online challenge is you're going to be able to tag them all, and then ideally chase them up and all that sort of stuff becomes a bit easier. Now, how do your group all get along pretty well and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, they do.
So you've got a couple of options early on. The one we recommend early on is the get to know you one. That's like our go-to. Usually week 1 early, really early in, basically sharing a photo. And then there's heaps of different ways to do it. But our favorite way is basically share a photo and then share 3 things about you. 2 are true, one's a false statement. And then everyone's got to guess what the false statement is. The cool thing about this is it creates conversation. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you lead the way. So you want to make sure like you start it off and kick it off, and then like don't reveal your false thing. It's like, all right, everyone's going to reveal their false thing on Friday. All right.
Yeah.
So you kick it off and you make sure you've got something in there that gets people interested or engaged, and then I would tag I would tag them all in there to try and get everyone to do it, and just like try to hold them all accountable and say, hey, like I wouldn't even give them a choice realistically with like that smaller number. I would try and get them to do it. And then the cool thing about it is it creates that conversation. Like I remember when we did it once, we learned, this is the only one that really sticks in my head, but one of the girls was like a semi-pro golfer growing up and like toured the world playing golf.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, I don't know whether she was pro or pro-am or whatever it is, but she got paid to play and toured the world until she was, like early 20s sort of thing. And would not have expected it at all from her because she was coordinated. But I've played golf and I enjoy playing golf, and I'm not great at it. I'm okay, but I'm good enough to know that how hard golf is. Like golf's such a tough sport, and it's like not until you actually swing a club and try and play golf, you go like, wow, okay, now I understand how challenging it is to do what they do. And so I did not expect that from her. And so, like little things like that where you just learn these things and then all of a sudden you have this conversation or this new bond because they have enjoyed traveling, or they have played golf, or they can speak another language, or they can, like they're planning a holiday. Their false thing might be, I'm going to go on a holiday to Africa. And your true thing might be, my favorite holiday has been to Africa. And then all of a sudden you've got like this thing of like, oh, so you're going to go, like, what are you thinking of doing? Or, like, what did you think? Where did you stay? Or so it just creates those conversations. That's why I like this one.
Yep.
Especially for like when it gets to the face-to-face side of things. When it's like, we do it for our VIPs, right? But it's all online. So like you don't get those same like bonds because you're not like seeing each other face-to-face going like, oh, wow, like I didn't know you spoke another language or whatever it might be, right? So it just creates those bonds and some like further connections for the group. So that's why that one's one of our favorite ones. And it's an easy one. Like it's a soft entry, share a photo and 3 things about yourself, like you can also throw in there like, like one thing you want to achieve for the next 10 weeks, or,
Yeah.
like a goal. You can also throw in a few little things like that at the top, like, if you're doing it early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that would be that one. There's also, you can also do the ones of like, those ones where there's like the list and it's like, I'll get to know you and answer these questions. You can do
Yep.
that sort of one, but it's not as, we prefer the true and the false one because it just leaves it open a little bit more.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so that would be one of the early ones I would run. For you, where you're at now, maybe you might want to jump into something like, all right, guys, for the next 3 weeks, we're going to hit our walking challenge, our water challenge, and then our sleep challenge over the next 3 weeks. You could do something like that where it's a different one each week.
Yep.
And that one's like one of our favorite ones that we got from, like we've always done the walk, water, and sleep ones. Well, we haven't done the sleep ones that much. We've done the walk and water ones. But the combination of how they put them together, we got from Firelex last year. The guy put them together in a different way. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting.
Yeah.
So theirs was like, you had to achieve 7,000 steps on an average. And then it was 7 glasses of water followed by 7 hours sleep. And so they did, I think, did I mention this last week?
I think so, yeah.
And then, so the idea from them was
incremental.
Exactly. So then the idea was, theirs was like, okay, once you achieve the walking, then you moved on to the water. Once you achieve the water, then you moved on. Theirs was for like individual, like it was like, it was one-on-one coaching stuff. So that's how they did it like that. So then they were able to go like, okay, well, we want you to increase by 500 steps on average per day until you get to 7,000. So in, like 3 weeks time or whatever it is, in 4 weeks time, you should be hitting 7,000 steps a day. Being one-on-one, you can do that.
Yes.
Groups is a bit more difficult. But the big thing is with all of these ones that are a bit more like physical, you want to make people aware. The biggest thing about it is like making people aware of these little habitual stuff that can make a difference. So, like this is the thing, like, ever since I've sort of stopped teaching and started doing this full time, and I actually paid a little bit of attention at times to like the steps on my phone, I'm like, man, I need to get out and move more. I mean, I don't have my phone on me when I'm at the gym and stuff like that. So I am doing stuff obviously, but like my like daily activity, what is it you need to, like that small amount daily activity is not a lot, like on my everyday, because like, it's just not a lot. And that's something that I know I need to go and try and take the dog for a walk, or I need to go and just like walk around the park a couple of times to freshen up or whatever it might be. Right. But what you're trying to do is make people aware of these things. So they're like, okay, well, maybe I can, take the stairs instead of the lift, or maybe I can park a little bit further away, or maybe I can, like listen to a book and go for a half an hour walk, and then you can start tying, and then you can sort of see how they can tie some of these things together. Like it might be, all right, maybe I can go for the walk and do a 10-minute meditation. Like there's all these little things that you can start tying together for like habitual changes. So what you want to do is, if you're doing the walking one, you want to share strategies throughout that week. Hey guys, like you can have like little, those memes, like you can share like little poster memes, like why walking is important and, what it achieves in your body. And the next one is how to improve or how to increase the amount of walking you do daily. And then the other one could be, whatever, another few strategies for increasing the amount of walking, right? So for something like that, that could be the walking one, right? And then you move on to the hydration one, same sort of thing, making people aware that they're not consuming enough water, or they're not, like, because they just may not know, like they're just, if you're not aware of these things, like, we take it for granted as fitness people quite often, like that we know that you need to consume water, and we know how important sleep is, and we know, like, theoretically we should know the steps, so, like for you, if you're out there training people, I doubt you have trouble with your steps ever, for example. Right? And when I was teaching, it was the same thing. I didn't even need to think about my steps. It was just like every day was like 15,000 steps every day, like, no matter what. And you just never had to think about it. But if you're an office worker, which I'm essentially an office worker now. I need to consciously think about it and go like, oh, what am I going to do to change these things, right? So it's just about making those like habitual stuff, and then hopefully the idea is then that can stick long term. Like, so if you can make some of those things that can create some long term change. And so, Yeah, the walking one's a good one. Then moving into the water one, because again, there's small entry. You know, I'm like, oh, how am I going to increase my steps? Realistically, 7,000 steps in a day, I think, is probably about 45 minutes of walking, like throughout your whole day, essentially. So, you know, like that could be, you know, walking to the bus stop, walking to the train station. It could be walking, you know, to get your lunch. It could be, you know what I mean? Like little things like that, like where you can take in the stairs, like I said, you know. The water then looks after itself typically, same sort of thing. It's like, okay, well, making people aware that, hey, what are you consuming through your daily, you know, your daily liquid intake? Oh, it's, you know, a bottle of Coca-Cola. Oh, but it's a Coke Zero or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Making them aware that they can make this change and that, you know, and then how they can do things with water. Like, okay, well, what can you do with your water? You can put like a, you know, like the lemon in there. You can do like apple cider vinegar in there because there's some benefits for stuff like that. You know, like you can make these little adjustments that they might be able to make long-term changes.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing as you go through for things like sleep, you know, like realistically it's endless. So sleep, meditation, and it's all the same sort of principle. It's just making people aware of what they're potentially missing, you know. Sugar, the sugar one's a great one as well. Using like, so again, a lot of them will just use an app, right? So your walking will be your phone, typically your phone. Most people's phones have it automatically on there, or their, you know, their smartwatch or whatever they're using, right? Hydration, there's probably some kind of hydration tracker app, you know. Sleep, I was chatting to Jono, where did I put that one? Sleep Cycle, I think he called it.
Yeah, I use it. It's good.
Sleep Cycle? Yeah, okay, so I was chatting to Jono about that last week, Sleep Cycle. And so that's like an app that, you know, obviously tracks your sleep. Then you've got like no sugar, you can use things like MyFitnessPal. And again, with something like the no sugar, well, again, it's the same sort of thing. You're not trying to go, okay, no, zero sugar. You go, okay, what we want you to do for this week, you can have 2 pieces of fruit a day. Because I'm not of that, like, oh, you know, fruit and sugar and all that. You know, like some people when they go on these things, like, it means I'm not going to eat any sugar. And it's like, it's not going to eat any fruit. It's like, that's completely ludicrous. Like, no one's overweight or unhealthy because they're eating too much fruit. You know what I mean? Like maybe fruit
donuts,
juice.
but yeah, exactly.
Maybe fruit juice, but not, you know, fruit. Not from eating like, you're not sitting there eating 10 oranges in a day, you know, like, and going, oh, why am I so overweight? I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
You know, so again, the same sort of thing with the no sugar one is like going, okay, well, you can put in, you know, you don't have to put in fruit, or you can put in, you know, you get like 2 or 3 pieces of fruit a day, but everything else you're going to track. And so they're like, all of a sudden they go, okay, well, oh, I didn't realize when I had this particular, what's something that I'm having that I bought because I saw it at the shops recently. Like it was like you know, those pre-packaged porridge mixes?
Yes.
They're just like 90 seconds. They were on special. And I was like, I haven't had porridge in a while. It's pretty cold. I might buy that. And I'm eating it. I'm like, man, this is very sweet. And I look at it. It's got like 20 grams of sugar in the thing. And, you know, it's like, I'm like,
that'd be why.
That makes sense. But, you know, like, again, if you're like general pop and not thinking about some of this stuff, you don't notice it. You know what I mean? So if all of a sudden, if that's your daily activity that you're having this on a daily, and, you know, for me, I'm like, I have 2 of the satchels as well because they're too small. That's like a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Without even realizing, thinking like, you know, porridge is healthy, like, because, you know, porridge is healthy. It says it's got some fruit in there or whatever, you know, like, okay, like it seems healthy. And then you do it and you're like, something about this wasn't quite right. And I read it and I was like, oh, wow, gee, that's surprising. So maybe what I'll do in the past is I'll just go and buy oats as normal, you know, like it just happened to be, I saw it and I bought it, you know, like, but, you know, because now I know I can just go and buy regular oats and put regular blueberries in there or whatever it might be, you know what I mean? Whereas it's about making people aware of those sort of things that, you know, the yogurt that they have in the morning, like, oh yeah, but I'm having yogurt. Yogurt's good for me. It's got my probiotics or whatever is in there, right? But on the flip side, maybe they could be having Greek yogurt, or maybe they could be having, like something a bit different, kefir or whatever, you know, like it's a bit better for them, you know, and it's about making them aware of those things.
In terms of the so I guess I've got 2 questions that come up for me. One is, I have some clients who are just not on Facebook.
Okay.
So, you know, like at all, on WhatsApp, she's French. She's like, I'm not doing Facebook. It's just not happening. So I'm finding I'm having to either screenshot and then send it to her so she's still connected, but it is logistically a little bit challenging. Is that just the simplest way to just keep doing it how I'm doing it? And that
does she use Instagram or something like that?
No. Her social media is solely WhatsApp, which I'm not really looking to add another channel when I've already got 2 going. So yeah, I mean, at the moment I'm screenshotting and kind of that way she can see conversations that are happening as well as the post itself.
It's tough.
Yeah, it feels clunky.
Tough. Yeah. And I don't think there's any real way around it. Unfortunately, you just have to explain to her probably that this is where these things are going to run. While you're smaller, you can probably like get around it and like do it individually and go, hey, doing the step challenge this week, how many steps have you done? You can probably get around it that way at the moment. But if you start trying to manage people, you don't have you're not going to have that. I mean, you can make that time to do that sort of stuff, but if 10 of them don't have it, it becomes a bit, a bit different. But in saying that, if 10 of them don't have it, maybe you put them into a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, and then just create a group and then I have to manage it.
Just go from one to the other, you know what I mean? Just copy and paste what you've done on Facebook into WhatsApp, boom, done, easy.
Yeah.
With one, it's a bit more of a pain. You know what I mean? Like I would say they're few and far between though. Few and far between with people not using Facebook or, there's probably a way. We've done a couple of things on Instagram where it's like plank challenges where they're sharing photos of them doing a plank and stuff like that. We've done a couple of things like that. These other ones, I don't know how you could do it. Some of them, some of them, there's probably a way to do it, but I'm not quite sure how using Instagram. Like creating like a private channel. I'm not quite sure how.
And then my other question, Travis, is probably more around when I've got clients who've done the challenges before, keeping it fresh. So they're starting to know a lot about each other now, where each other works, the dog's names, that kind of thing. So how do I keep it fresh for them and still, in my view, they still need to be conscious of their walking, their water and their sleep. Don't get me wrong. I feel like they're the fundamentals that they're still going to let slide and we need to talk about again. But how do you do that for your older clients?
Well, theoretically, let's say if you're working off like a 12-week cycle, right? You're going to need a few different ones. There'll be some of them that you'll repeat, but then you might throw in like the meditation. You might throw in a stretch. You might throw in like a few different exercise ones. So it could be like like a plank or an abs based one this time. It could be a squat based one this time. When it comes to sharing recipes, you can directly ask for smoothies or breakfasts or, like a specific meal, if that makes sense. And so you've got a few options that way of like changing them up. You could do like an exercise one, another exercise one's like a mountain climber one. We had, they had to do over the week, they had to do like as many mountain climbers as like Everest. So it's like 7,000 mountain climbers by the group together, so that was a kind of cool one. But there's little things like that you could do where realistically, again, you might be repeating the water challenge once every 12 weeks. So once every 3 months, like it's not a bad thing to like, it's not too bad in regards. It's not like it's every 3 weeks that you're doing it. But again, like I said, you probably want a few little changes where it's like, okay, well, like, here's a meditation one that I'll slide in here, or here's a stretch one that we're going to slide in here, or, whatever might fit well with your group as well. So you might know your group and go, okay, well, I do know they're business people. They need to find 5 minutes in their day to tune out and just like focus in on everything. And, so there's a few little ways you can do it. But again, realistically, like I said, you'll find if you're doing it once every 12 weeks, it's like 3 months in between challenges, that it's not too bad. The one that like, as you as you're growing as well, like the get to know you one is the one that you probably want to have like 2 or 3 different variations of.
Yeah.
Because or else they're just doing that same like 2 falses or 1 truth, 2 falses or 1 truth, which is good when you've got new people coming through. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like you said, to get your older people participating, like sometimes that can be like changed a little bit as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
But
yep.
I wouldn't stress too much about that. Because it's only realistically like by the time the second, it's not going to be until like a third or fourth time they're potentially doing it, but at that point you're hopefully going to have like a larger base of people to draw upon, not just the same 7, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So that's sort of that'll be the goal, I think, would be like once you've got that bigger base, that'll look after itself a little bit more.
Yep.
Right?
Excellent. Yep. It's good.
Easy. Have we got any other questions then on challenges?
Not on challenges. I do have another question. It's more generic. I have done like an ebook for clients with at-home exercises they can do. I've uploaded it to Dropbox. The link is open to anyone who clicks the link, but I'm finding it's not working. So so I've emailed it out to everyone, did an email over the weekend, a whole big thing, and everyone's like, I can't open the link. So I'm emailing it back, and then everyone's finding the second time I email it through, it's working. So it's making me nervous because I was looking at using it as a lead magnet, and obviously my clients are going to get back to me straight away and go, Loretta, it's not working. But a prospective client is not going to message me and go, I can't download your ebook, and then it's just going to piss them off, and then they're not going to be able to get it.
Send it through to us on the group chat.
Yeah,
we'll have a look and see if there's any.
Okay.
It really shouldn't be too bad. I
know, because then I thought, well, is there another way that I could potentially have it sitting on my website as a hidden page? I thought like, is there a way I can get around using Dropbox? I'm just nervous that it could be glitchy or...
It shouldn't be. That's the thing. It shouldn't be.
I know.
I don't know. You could also look at Google Docs is another thing, which is pretty similar, where you could build it into, say, Google Doc. Like you could have like a PDF in Google Docs and share the link that way. You could, on your website, I think ours just links back into Dropbox. Like we just use like a hyperlink back into Dropbox. Like on a landing page, for example, it's like click here for your ebook. They click there, and it's just like a hyperlink that goes back to Dropbox.
Which is what I've said. I've got a button, and that's my plan. Landing page, click the thing, add their name and email, and then they're getting the link, and I'm emailing it to them. So click here to download, bang, done, and then they're on my database as well. In active campaign, but
So on Dropbox, you've done like obviously you've done the shared link part. You've got the copy. Send it through on the group and just see what happens. And
because I'm keen to test it.
Even email it through to us, and we can have a look. Some of this stuff we might be able to help you with straight away, but other times it might just be like, they're like your gremlin sort of thing sometimes. You've obviously got it saved as a PDF. Should be okay. It should just take you in, and it should give you the option just to download it. Straight away. Because like when you go in, it should open up as like the PDF, like on the screen, and in the top right, it'll have the download, the download button typically.
And I'm testing it. It's fine, but I don't know if that's because it's my account, and obviously I'm able to. Do you know what I mean? I'm not. So
send the email. Send the email through to me if you want.
All right. I will.
Same email. It's just travis@fitnesseducationonline.com.au. I'll test it and I'll see what I can show you. Like I don't know if anyone shared you screenshots, what they're seeing afterwards, so I can sort of go, okay, well, this is exactly what I'm seeing. So see if we can figure out what the hold up is or what the problem is. That'd be great. Because they shouldn't even matter. They don't even need a Dropbox account, though, do they? Like to do that.
That's the whole thing. They shouldn't. They should just be able to download it. So
that's what I was thinking. Maybe they need a Dropbox account, but I don't.
And then what I did is I actually posted the link back into the private Facebook group and said, "Try this again." And then they were all like, "No, it's worked. I'm fine." And it's the same link. So I don't know what's going on. short of going back in and just taking it out and putting it back into the email.
I'd try and do that. That'll be my first thing that I do.
And then I'll send it through to you and see if that works.
It could be, like it could be something like you press space and it's including a space or something somewhere. It may be something silly like that. On the email, have you got it as like a hyperlink, or have you got it as the actual link?
No, it's a hyperlink, so it's a button and then they click it.
Okay. I would just put it in there again. Because, like sometimes you might have pressed a space after the link. And so when you've done it there, like it might be reading that there's a space after or a space beforehand, potentially. I know that's happened. Actually. That's happened on our end before. When I've done that stuff, and then it doesn't work then because it's just not reading it properly. That would be my suggestion on that. But send it through, and I'm happy to have a look at it. And then I would take it out and do it again first, though. I'd just take that hyperlink out and then just put it back in again. I would say that's probably where the problem is.
Okay.
And did you test it when you did it on the button? It worked
fine.
though?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe not.
So I don't know. I'll try it again.
I'd take it out, put it back in, and send it through, and I'll have a look, and I'll let you know what I'm seeing as well. That way,
perfect.
This is exactly what I'm seeing. So it's clearly there's an issue with the link or the height, and then maybe
I'm keen to get the lead magnet ad running this week, so I just want to make sure that it's all.
Of course. What are you using? What page are you using it off? Like lead pages, or what's the
as in
for the lead magnet? So
the lead magnet. So my it's just on the lead. So let me start again. My landing page is actually set up on my website.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to run the lead magnet ad through Facebook and then link to that. And then that sets, when they enter their email address, it links through to my active campaign account.
Yep.
And that will send them the email, which has the link included.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. That should be fine. I think that should be fine. And then, so have you put it on the website yet? It's
on the website. Yeah. It's on the website? Well, this is the thing. It all seems to work. but admittedly, like my testing says, yes, it works. So I'm getting the email through. I've got the automation all set up and it seems to be going all really well. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes
I'll do it again and I'll send it through to you.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. Anything else? It was just you here today. Nice and
I know. Just me, and that's it. They're all my questions. So thank you.
Sounds good. All right. Well, we've got. I don't know who we've got on Thursday. Bear with me. I'll have a look. I'll bring it up here. We've got on Thursday. Just going slowly. Who have we got? Hayley. We've got Hayley this week. Okay, who was just on the podcast, I think, actually.
I was just listening to it. Excellent.
Yeah, so we've got Hayley this week, so it should be good. So I'll send a message out about that this week, and I'll make sure it's confirmed with Hayley, and then we'll go from there.
Brilliant.
All right, good to speak to you again, and we'll chat Thursday, I think.
Sounds good.
I'll confirm it all. Cheers.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.